Hello! Welcome to the super cool, awesome secret backer developer stream. I'm Eli.
Cool.
I'm a programmer and level designer at Yacht Club Games, and I'm going to be designing some cool test setups for the new Frozen Trainyard area we're working on. Does everyone want to go around and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I can hop in. I'm Bridget. I do programming for Mina, and I'm just hanging out.
And sorry, Celia. I am Michael. I'm a producer on at Yacht Club on this project, and I'm super excited to see what Eli's working on today.
And hi, I'm Celia. I handle marketing, and I'm going to be in the background. So have a great stream, guys.
Woohoo! Okay. Um, let's get started. So in this stream, we are going to be doing test setups. This is the Frozen Train Yard. It's a new area where like sort of early on in production, not all of like the enemies and objects are done, and some of them are like in early stages where like we're feeling them out. And so you're going to see today our process for going from just having the raw gameplay materials into actually forming that into cool and fun setups. And so I think the first thing, I have like a little list here of a couple things I wanted to get through. Right now, Bridget is working on this new enemy called Dogapede. It's still sort of in the early stages, still needs to get some work done, but Bridget has told me that it's workable enough that we can mess around with it a little bit and just see what's up. And so that's, I think, the first thing that we're going to do.
Good luck, Dogapy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Woo!
Eli, can I ask before you get into working on these setups for Dogapede?
Yep.
If I haven't read any of the Kickstarter updates, could you give me a brief overview of what the Frozen Train Yard is and what the
Sure.
setup is for this area?
Yeah, so in the Frozen Train Yard, it's an area sort of up north of the map. It is, it's what it sounds like. It's a mountainous region covered in snow. There it was a train crash here, and so there's a lot of just trains scattered all over the place. You got some stuff over here with like trains frozen in snow. This is going to be a sort of like a ghostly haunted area. A lot of our areas are sort of experimenting around with different like horror themes. Like the crypt was very much gothic horror. Like Bone Beach is very body horror, and so this is going to be more of like a spooky, ghostly, haunted area. So yeah, that's the general vibe that we're going with.
Ooh.
Got some ice in it too, right? Like different
Yeah.
kind of themed cold things.
We
Yeah.
got cold ghosts in this game.
Yeah, I can like run around and show some of the cool objects that we made for this area as well. Just to show those. But yeah, let's see. This is, by the way, this is our, this is Tile. This is our map editor. This is actually like publicly available. Anyone can download and use Tiled, but we have our own sort of version of Tiled that we're using. Let you Mina over here and get started. Okay, here, I guess first I'll show you some of like what the level looks like right now and some of the stuff we've already done before we jump into brand new stuff. So this is an area that's going to be like as you sort of descend into this sort of windy cavern area where all the sort of trains have like crashed into. And so this is a new ice block object. The idea with this is that you can't like move through it. If you walk into it, it'll do a little slide. You can also whip it to do a little slide. Sometimes you have like little bones frozen into it. You can even have enemies frozen into it. This is Sign Knife. This is sort of like our Medusa head for our game. And so, yeah, sometimes you'll have enemies you got to worry about. Yeah, this was just me, like, we did a lot of pre-production for this area where we were, like, feeling out, like, what types of areas. So this was me, like, saying, okay, if there's, like, a cavernous, like, windy area, what could we do with this? This is Bad Rat. This is, like, kind of sort of Mina's doppelganger a little bit. This one also has a cool burrow move it can do. It can throw, like, shurikens at you through the wall. And so here it's, like, gotta, like, move these out of the way. There we go. Let's go here, get this. This is sort of like a little puzzle type setup with like, oh, how do I get this? It's like up against the wall, so I can't make it go sliding, right? I was like, a little secret dirt. And then there's this ice tile over here that you like go slip and sliding on. And if you burrow into it, whoa, you go like flying in a direction. You sort of don't have full control. Whoa. Whoa. This is Snow Boulder. This is sort of like our regular like pot for the area, but the gimmick with this one is that it can roll through stuff. Whoa, it just keeps going. And like if I throw it at these, it'll just break them. Oh, I think it hit the wall there. But yeah, it'll like keep going through multiple enemies. And so yeah, this was just me like saying like, what if we had like an upwards moving area? Like Bonebird can go through the walls here, so it's pretty annoying. Here it's like, do I want to do the Bonebird first or do I want to do the Bad Rat? Whoa. So yeah, these are some of like the initial setups that we're doing. And like Bad Rat's kind of cool because you can do like, it can like go under like fences just like Mina can. So I can do a lot of cool things where I'm playing around with that like interplay. And like, yeah, it's projectiles go through walls. So it's like, gotta like go under here. It's like a really fun enemy to duel with. So yeah, that's some of the stuff we already have. And then yeah, I guess we're going to mess around with Dogapede now just to see how this thing's working. Seems like it's getting stuck in the corner here.
We're a little delayed, like behind you too.
Oh, okay.
Eli on stream, so
Yeah. We're like,
give it a minute. Unless you want to
7
share
to
your
10
screen.
seconds.
Oh, right. I should share my screen on Discord. Sorry. Wait, let me...
If that doesn't mess up your setup,
No.
While you're doing
we can
that,
see.
okay. While you're doing that, I can.
Oh no! Why is it
everyone
so stuck? It shouldn't be that stuck.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so mad.
This-
Okay.
Everyone understands it's all a work in progress. Dogapede is hot, so
Yeah, look at him. He's like diving into the snow. You can like, I think the idea is, with this guy is like you can burrow under him normally, but when he does that snow thing, it's like, oh, can't do that. And then you whip the head to damage it, right?
Yeah, I got hit.
Whoa. So yeah, let's see what we want to do with this. Oh, and the other thing is, oh, I should mention, I didn't even explain. If you see me doing this, this is fly cheat. I can just like fly around. So yeah, if you ever see me doing this, that's like a developer tool. We have all sorts of like cool stuff. Like I can like do that to kill all. There's all sorts of fun little commands, or like I can spawn in like the snow boulder. If we didn't have this stuff, it would like take a million years to test anything in the game. So let me.
So you're saying we won't ship with Mina being able to fly?
No, I'm sorry. So size.
Maybe it'll be a trinket.
Oh, true.
Or we'll save it for the sequel, like Tears of the Kingdom's Ascend
right-
ability.
Right now, the size is clamped at like 10,
Okay.
and a minimum of 2. I feel like, yeah, 10 is a lot.
Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, look at this guy go.
There he goes.
Whee. Oh man. So yeah, we were thinking of like, how do we introduce this guy? We probably want to like start out with like one that's just like one guy, and then like, you know, as we go on, introduce more and more of them. Whoa. How do we? Let's see. So let's actually not.
We got 10. 10 feels like a lot.
Yeah. Let's. So right now, this is just like a guy in an empty room. What's like a thing I can do with him? It seems like he. So what's his behavior? He like runs around in circles a lot. Oh wait. God, I need to. runs around in circles a lot, seems to take up a lot of space, and so I'm using an enemy like that. Like this seems like an enemy I might use for like space control in like an open area. So if I imagine if I had like if I put Bad Rat in here with him, it's going to create like two things I got to think about. Like Bad Rat is more like trying to focus me down, but like Dogapede, Dogapede is more of like a passive nuisance. So it's like, do I focus on the active guy? Do I focus on the passive guy? This might also be interesting with like choke points in the setup. So let me test out.
Yeah, I guess like even though like Dogapede, it's not fully cooked. It's like in progress, but yeah, it'll be useful to me if you're making setups, for me to like keep those in mind as I'm working on it. So it's all gonna be useful, and it'll get folded into like any kind of setup that like doesn't work can get folded into the progress that I'm making on it now.
Yeah. So like what happens if I have a Dogapede in a situation like this? So like now I have to like think about how am I going to enter this space, and then it could like come through here as well. This might be cool if where's ice block? I could have some ice blocks here, just to like keep this guy from wandering in to this other space. And this also gives you some ammunition, right, to hit Dogapede with. So like if I go here, now it's like, how do I want to like enter here? Whoa.
Yeah, he has to do a better job of like bouncing off of walls. Sometimes it's like smooth, but I think in the GDD it's meant to be like he's meant to bounce off a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
So that might change.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of the GDD, do either of you guys want to talk about how we got Dogapede up to this point? Like what the series of handoffs were before we could finally get the enemy into the level for you?
Sure. Yeah, I guess Bridget's the one who's been handling this. Do you want to like talk about your process?
Yeah, I can talk about it a bit. So yeah, when we I don't know how far back to go, but like all of our enemies start as like big discussions that we have, like when we're making concepts for like a new zone. So you know, we all get together and we talk about what kinds of enemies and objects would be cool to put in a level like this. And so Dogapede, I think, was picked at some point during that. So then it goes to like Sandy, our pixel artist, who like makes all the different sprites for all the different pieces. Oh, sorry. I guess before that, like, sorry. Once we have that meeting, somebody from the level design team will actually write up the spec of how Dogapede should behave. So we have like a big Google Doc. Oh, hold on. I think I have a pretty big echo. Eli, could you mute for a second? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can mute.
That might help. Yeah, sorry. I'm like Eli and I are sitting in the same room. Hopefully that sounds better. Yeah. So where was I?
Writing up the spec.
Yeah, so somebody from level design writes up a spec of like how Dogapede should work, and so like we just have a bunch of Google Docs full of like different descriptions for all the enemies and objects and everything that's in the game. So there's a Google Doc somewhere that says like Dogapede should here, let me glance at it. So like Dogapede is like a wolf made of modular pieces. It's got medium health. Only the head can receive damage. It should idle in place, or if you like leave it alone, it can kind of run in a circle like a dog chasing its tail. And then once you like aggro it, it starts to move more erratically. So it runs around in lines, but then kind of like arcs arcs in different directions. And it kind of alternates between running, stopping, and diving into the snow. And so there's, you know, there's maybe a page of like notes and like little sketches about what it should look like and how it should behave and kind of more details. So once that's all written up, then it goes to Sandy, who makes sprites. And then once those are ready to go, then it gets passed on to a programmer, who in this case was me, to start to take all those sprites and everything that's written and make it into like a real functioning centipede dog thing.
And this is the first pass after you've handed it off to Eli to see how it's
Yeah.
working. And you'll sometimes go
Yeah.
through a bit of notes. Bridget, it sounds like even with Eli muted, there's still a bit of an echo. I listened to the stream for a second. I'm not sure what it's coming from. It seems like the stream
Yeah, it
itself
might be
picking you up
it might be
twice.
something with like desktop audio or something on Eli's stream. Sorry about the echo. I can do less talking. Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, great. Thanks.
So yeah, that's a good summary of like what our process is. So it's very much like design gets written, programming gets done, and like programmer does a lot of like back and forth of iterating on it. Then we do these sort of test setups, like see how it works in level design and like see if more changes need to get done based on that. And yeah, so that's where we're at. Let me just talk about like what I've been doing here. So I was thinking before it was very much like a half and half setup, but that didn't leave a lot of space to fight the Dogapede. And so I was thinking I want to like center this. This could even be like an intro setup where this is like the first time you've seen it. And so if it's the first time you've seen it, it should very much be like centered in the room. We're like emphasizing this guy. And then also I'm like, how do you exit the room? That's always like a challenge with these where it's like, we need to make it so that you can't just like run through the whole setup. Or if you are going to run through it, it should be like a challenge. And so I was thinking sort of mirroring the ice block thing where you have to push these ice blocks in order to get out. And they're sort of like diagonal across the room. So I have to like cross this space up in a pretty tricky way. Let's see how that plays. Oh, whoa, look at this guy. So yeah, now I'm like seeing this space and I'm like, do I just want to like run for it? Do I want to like fight this guy? Oh, now he's here. Oh boy.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes he has issues with like sometimes he handles walls fine, and sometimes it's not fine. I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking this is like not enough space to fight him in still. And so let me like and then that.
Yeah, and I think if we want you to be able to fight him in tighter spaces, I think we can also reduce things like his speed or like how quickly like how often he turns, that kind of.
Yeah, that's true. And then also, I could also just use a shorter segment one in tighter spaces. I might try. I'm interested to see how this works. If there's like a ring in the middle, so it's like now it's a sort of a circular setup. This is not balanced. Wait, this is like 3 on the side. Should I move this over one more? How does this work?
Dr. Blue was asking in the chat if the Dogapede has more health, if he has more segments.
Oh, that's an interesting.
I don't think it does, right? Because the damage goes to the head. The head's the only damaging or damageable spot, right?
Yeah, and even if you damaged a segment, it would probably like detract from like the enemy as a whole. So right now, like the number of segments doesn't impact the overall health amount.
What actually does happen if you hit a segment? Does it still damage flash?
No, it just does like a little shake, which is in the GDD.
Okay, let's see how this is working right now. Oh wait, that is not centered. Wait. And then I need to move. this over by 1. Okay. And let's like move you. I don't want you to like start a wall. So let's try that. Let's just see how this plays. So yeah, like now this guy. Yeah, I like this sort of ring. He does seem like he has trouble in tight spaces though.
Hey, locally, do you if you look at Dogapede enemy, is turn smooth enabled like in Visual Studio?
Let me dog.
That one works better right now. Yeah, at the top.
I do have turn smooth enabled.
Okay, that's good for me to know. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, so it does seem like right now I'm having some trouble in like very tight scenarios like this.
But that's good for me to know. It shouldn't freak out. Like sometimes it like sorts itself out and then sometimes it just gets stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like 2 tile hallways should be fair. I don't think it's probably a good idea to put him in a 1 tile hallway, so I think I'll try to limit it to 2 tiles. Another thing I should say we try to do when we're doing these level designs, let me put it here. So you can sort of see, first of all, we don't have a lot of vertical space to work with. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertical tiles, and like pretty much always 2 of them are walls. And so we have like 6 tiles to work with. We have 16 across. And so what we try to do is just for like visual clarity, it tends to help if we like group things up, which usually means either you have like 2 vertical levels where it's like 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, or like what I'm doing here is we have 2, 2, and 2. And like this is 3, 3, 3, 3, and there's like a 4 in the middle. But like having that kind of like symmetry and consistency tends to make setups more easily readable from a glance. Whereas if like something was off by 1, it might be like weird. So like, yeah, I wouldn't, for instance, make like this like a 1 tile usually. I'd have it be a nice 2 tile to line up with this hallway. Let's see. This guy.
It's that first wall that like gets him really confused, and then it gets a little better.
It does see. I could, what I could do is I could make this like a 2 by 2 ice block. I haven't even mentioned that. Is we have the technology to make, and then if I made this also you can't freely scale these, unfortunately. It's only 1 by 1 and 2 by 2. But that way he's not going to get stuck anymore. That just like smoothly goes down that line. There's like 2 guys.
Don't underestimate his ability to get stuck.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fun to like fight this guy in like a little circular setup. I definitely do feel like I can very easily skip over this whole thing though. I also think I'm gonna at least make this one. 2 of these. I'll keep it. Still a big one. Let's like add some more stuff. This is like very empty right now. Now my first, don't freak out. My first instinct is to do this. Let's see. I think 2 Dogapedes might be like too much going on.
I think they'll play pretty well together. Oh jeez.
Okay. Yeah, this is cool.
Hold on, if they get sorted. Oh no.
No, yeah, they're clumping though. That's like the issue.
He's really struggling.
Yeah, that one's struggling in the corner.
That one's having a hard time.
We can always try. Yeah, 2 Dogapedes could be a thing. Yeah, let me like reload this. I'm gonna do 2 Dogapedes. They're like mirroring each other a little too much for my taste, and so maybe if I put them in these corners, they'll like not be as like identically symmetrical. That guy clips into the wall there. Yeah, he's having trouble in the corner here. Okay, and then you can also try 1 Dogapede. So 1 Dogapede here, and then We could try maybe the top path has like some other types of obstacles. It's weird if we just have ice blocks on the bottom, like just as these guards. And so it might be cool if we tried ice block. We could try more ice blocks like up here. This doesn't really do anything because then if we did like do like diagonal ice block, and Dogapy would probably get stuck there pretty badly though. We can also have other types of obstacles like bushes. We could also do like this. Let's just test out having something like that. We can also just try a fewer segmented Dogapede. It might be a tight area like this. So yeah, I can, like this guy's like blocking my path. And so maybe...
Size of 2 or 3 might be a little bit...
Yeah, let's try 3. Try C. 3 and C. Okay. Okay. Makes it a little easy to get out of this scenario.
I don't know what that corner is.
Yeah. Seems like it's having some trouble in these tight quarters. I think the 3 is working a little better though. Let's mess around with just a little bit more before moving on. Because I think this is like nearing cool setup. I do feel like it's a bit tight in this corner with these 2 wide blocks, so I might just bring it back to these. I think also this is like weirdly asymmetrical. If I do like this also solves the problem I was having earlier. And then we could do something cool with, we could have another enemy in one of these, like Cooper. Cooper in one of these. And then we also like to have like, fun bonuses for the player to shoot for. So we could have just a buried bone here. Always good to have candles as well. I put candles here and here and just put these. I'm trying to use more of these like 2 magics, like the size 2, especially for late game. I feel like we should be upping the stakes with the amount of magic you're getting. So yeah, this could be a fun setup, I think. Gives me like something to think about. The top and bottom routes aren't like identical, and like just trying to like rush this guy seems like a bad idea that I shouldn't do. So it's like, do I want to go through here? It's like challenging.
Someone was asking in chat earlier if we use any recolored enemies.
Yeah, so the way that it works is that, so like, here, let me just like move to another room so I can quickly show this off. Just like a random empty room. Camera. So like you have normal Gooper here. You also have like our level 2 Gooper, and then there's the same thing with Bonebird. Let me copy this over. So there's the level 2 one, and then also show the level 1. Over here. And then yeah, if we hop into here, so yeah, you have like the red version and then the normal one. So like for Gooper, the normal one just like goes at you and does a little jump. The red one, it's like a little faster, I think, but then it also additionally has this like submerged behavior. Let's see, yeah, like does that, leaves a little thing. Bonebird does like a little like dive swoop for its level 2 variant. And so yeah, a lot of these, they'll have like improved stats. Like Red Grouper also takes more hits. Like if I just like, I can one-shot that guy, it takes 2 shots to get that one. Same thing with like Bonebird. Like this guy takes a couple hits. Let's see. Yeah. Whereas the level 1 just takes 1. So yeah, we're up in stats, and then sometimes we also give it like a new behavior. But there's also a couple that are just like straight stat improvements. Like I think Shock Trooper. So we don't always want to like add brand new behavior. Sometimes it's just like, I want to use Shock Trooper for this level, but Shock Trooper is dying in like 1 hit. And so that's kind of not great. And so sometimes we're just like, yeah, introducing yellow Shock Trooper. It's Shock Trooper, but it's yellow now, and it takes 3 hits instead of like, this guy dies in 2 hits.
And it's also like it's scaled for whatever level you're at. So like if you're a lower level, normal Shock Trooper would take more hits, right?
Yeah, like there's a whole like leveling system in the game. If I like get enough bones, I like improve my attack. So like Shock Trooper will like normally at the beginning of the game take a bunch of hits, but yeah, as you're leveling up, he'll take more and more hits. And so yeah, that's why we have these level 2 variants, is so we can still use some of our bread and butter guys, and not have them fall off completely. But yeah, some like new behaviors kind of spice it up, so it's not literally just a scaled one. But sometimes we do just want the scaled one. So yeah, there are like recolors in the game. But yeah, I think this Dogapede setup is like cool. I think we discovered some things that are like tricky with Dogapede that we need to like work on. I think these tight spaces and collision are kind of a challenge. But yeah, I think that's a cool test setup with Dogapede. I think it's been half an hour, so we might want to move on to some other stuff. So
yeah, that's useful for me too, to keep in mind about like what kind of setups we want to support. So I'm gonna work on like getting him looking better in tight spaces, and next time you see him, he'll be so smart.
Okay. And then I have, let's see, I have the list. So Dogapede, I'm gonna say we've done that. So there's trains. I like recently made some changes to Ice Block that we might want to test out. There's grind rails, ice tiles, snow boulder, sign knife. I guess let me show off some of the stuff that I haven't shown yet. So grind rails, this is pretty cool. If you played Spectre of Torment, these should be somewhat familiar. So, like, imagine this is like a cool background where you're like overlooking the whole mountain back there, and grind on a cool rail. Like, whoa, Mina sure is flying. I should mention this is using some temp art. So a lot of the time when we're like just starting out with a new enemy or object, we'll use some temp art just to like get it working in the game. But yeah, this is like, I think this is already really fun. This is another thing that Bridget was working on. There's also like cool stuff you can do with this. There's like this secret room here where it's like, oh, you're going around in like a circle, and it's like, oh man, I gotta like jump at the right times.
So cool.
So yeah, grind rails are fun.
I think
You can't fly cheat mid grind rail.
it's worth noting, like you were saying earlier about temp art. I saw some chat was mentioning some things look like they could use idle animations and things like that. Most everything you see in this level will probably have additional art support at some point down the line. But getting everything to essentially an alpha level where Eli can start implementing them and we can start putting together the level, they may not necessarily have all their assets done. So yeah, you'll see things like grind rail where you're like, oh cool, Mina's doing like a dash charge style animation, but it looks maybe a little simpler or not quite right for grinding. That's probably why. It's just very a work in progress.
Yeah. And so yeah, I'm just messing around with like different grind rail stuff, like how can we use this thing with combat? How can we use, like, so I was like, oh, these like hazard block tiles going, like we already had these, and so just putting them on the grind rail like gives me a thing that I gotta like jump over. And so yeah, that's something. And then the other thing, since this is a train yard, we thought it would be cool if there was like trains that you could actually like move around for like a few light puzzle type things. And so this is also sort of work in progress, but like here it's like, oh, I go in this train and I go up here. It's like, oh, I'm up here, but there's nothing up here. What? But what if I move the train? Again, this is all like work in progress, so these wheels probably need like an anim on them now. This is literally just using like moving platforms. And so yeah, we're gonna have to add like custom art for trains, but we're just like temping them out to see like what can we do, what do we want to do, and then once we have a specific list of like what we actually want to do with this, then it's easier to like go in and see like, okay, if we're doing this, then we need this, this, and this. So now if I go up here, oh.
Yeah, like up till now, we've been kind of like waiting on, you know, usually like we wait for art assets to be like 100% done before starting on something. So there's a couple places in the game where like we're just kind of prototyping it before the art is like fully ready to go. Like grind rail is one of those, or like the wheels. So it just kind of lets us like just get started a little early.
Yeah. So I guess since this was just newly added, the support for these moving trains, I'm gonna like mess around with this a little more. Because one thing you can't really do with this, my original thought was like, okay, if we're gonna do this, then the way that we would want to do it is like we would want to put this here, and then like have like a ledge up here that you're trying to get onto, like my original thought was like, oh, we would probably do like this. You're trying to get up to this ledge here, and this type of thing, like curve here. This, this. Like this was my first thought when we got the object. But this, it looks cool. It looks like it would work, right? Just looking at it. But it definitely doesn't. I'm going to show you why. Oh wait, I also need to, I should make a spawn point. So, like, it seems like, oh, if I, like, press this, and now that lines up with that ledge, and I can go right onto it. The problem is if I do draw collision, like, this all still has collision. Like, there isn't real elevation in this game. Like, all the elevation stuff is, like, faked. Like, these are all just walls. There's no concept in the game of, like, this is higher than this. And so...
Eli, you're revealing all our secrets.
Oh, no.
The illusion is broken.
So yeah, like if you go up here, Mina is just like caught in collision now. She like thinks she's touching a jump down ledge. It's like it's a mess, and so that's why I was like thinking about like how do we get this working, and so that's why I went with this more like horizontal lineup approach, where you're going down and jump down onto it, and that works a bit better. But I want to like see what else can we do with this cool concepts? Because I want to like use moving trains in a bunch of cool, fun ways, right? So
I wonder, hey Eli, have you thought about trying to use the pipe system rather than stairs to like shoot Mina up to the top of platform, or like at the top of a train, but not having to deal with stairs?
I don't know how well. I'll have to test that, but I don't think the pipe system can go on a moving platform.
Oh, true. Yeah. Well, yeah, and I guess it can't go across green transitions if you started a pipe in an interior and had to exit in an exterior space.
Yeah. We could do. I see what you mean, though. We could do one of these like geyser warps.
That's right, exactly. That's what I was thinking of. So you like pop out the top, but you don't have to contend with
staircase. Yeah.
Staircase, yeah.
Yeah, I can try that.
Yeah, just a thought.
I can do one of these. And
Hey, Dr. Blue in the Discord is asking if there will be a train whistle you can activate for bonuses. I want a train whistle.
We gotta have a sidearm that's a train whistle, so you can press it all the time.
Here, let me real quick.
It's a great idea. Or a bell you can ring.
Should work. Go background layer. Fence that off. And then I think this should work out of the box. I don't see why it wouldn't. Okay, so if I go in here, go up, pops me out there.
Oh yeah.
And then, okay. That crashed the game.
Woo! Congratulations!
The geyser froze.
Yeah, I think it's something to do. This is like newly added stuff. I wonder if I have.
Oh, did you put the geyser like on the train car?
Yeah, I put the exit
Like
point.
the exit? Yeah, I think right now Ian's only guaranteed support for doors, so I don't know about like other kinds of objects.
Yeah, okay, this does not work. I can write something up about that. That's good to like know. It like we're in the early stages of this level, and so like just knowing like, oh, that doesn't work, and we want support for it. So like let's get that working. But let's do some more like new steps just to see like what fun stuff we can do with this concept. So like if I go over here, and the other idea that I want to see how well it works would be basically, what if we had some stuff like blocking here, and then we had like train car. Yeah, not like covers here. I probably want to make it like a little shorter, but and this doesn't even need a staircase at the top. So this here, let's use the normal train top. This, but yeah, the idea here with this one, probably not that long. We probably want it to be like about yay big. This tile this across, and then like have another one over here. I probably like don't need one. You might need a wheel there just to have collision, but if we did like that, it's bad. Um, then, so if we like move this, right? This would start out here, and then we would have layer. Moving layer, so we want this to move from there. End up. Should end not that far. We still want this door to be on the other side. So let's just say there. Or maybe it's easier. Here, I have an idea. If you line up the center, then we can center it. So let's do like this. And then it ends here where it's like perfectly centered with this obstacle. And then let's layer. Oh, thing here, that here. I guess we also need to make an interior. I guess for now it doesn't even need to be an interior. I could just make these work directly to each other. But yeah, the idea is we'll probably have an interior between the two of these.
Hey, Darktone says if Mina killed someone on the train, would she cover her tracks? Hey, thanks, Darktone.
Nice.
This. Move Mina over here. This might work.
Hey, here's a question for Sandy. Joe Dudit was asking, will Mina have different idle animations based on where she is? Will she shiver and stuff when she's idle in the snow? I feel like we've talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, possibly. If we have time, for sure. I'd love to do stuff like that. We always like to add custom animations whenever we can. It's more just a matter of time. So like there's so much content going in this game that we want to make sure and prioritize the most important stuff first, but given time, I'd love to do it.
I think we have Sandy's sprints fully booked up for probably the rest of the year.
I'm sprinting.
So yeah, it's all a matter of just bandwidth between now and the rest of the project.
Sometimes I do get to sneak one or two custom animations in, like when Mina comes out of her checkpoint hole. There's like a special secret animation that I think Bridget implemented that sometimes plays.
That. And now it's like, oh man.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah, so something like that could be fun. But yeah, we're like, because a lot of the time, a lot of these levels can like, I go to the crypt for instance, for like crypt to be, you know, there's like a linear, like we have sections there, like a linear gauntlet where I'm like going through this room, going through this room. There's like maybe a little branching where I go here to get the key, then I go here to open the door, but then it's like another room. But then usually what we like to do is like about halfway through the level, you know, we have a section here where now it's like, oh, there's left and right. And I have to like go here, get the statue head, and bring it back. And that like allows us to vary up the pacing so it's not just one room after the other after the other. You're like lingering in the space. It gives you time to like revisit the shop a couple times. It gives you time to like find this secret is over here. You like do this, and then there's like another secret over here. So like lingering in a space for a while is cool, but that like makes us, we need to do some like cool routing challenges. So that's what I think these types of fun train car things are gonna be. Let's make an, you know what I haven't done is I haven't done a lot of like train interior setups. Let's like do one right now. Like just like fun combat. Like this is just like an empty room, but like I wonder what kind of cool fun stuff we can accomplish in this sort of tight space. let's see, I haven't actually messed with this tile set that much either.
These tiles are so old. These tiles are like 2 years old and have not been touched since.
Yeah, let me see. Probably for interiors, I like to have like a little bit of a black edge around the room. It's tricky though because, as I was saying before, we have exactly 8 tiles of vertical space. When you add the wall, that's 6 tiles. If I bring the walls in again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 whole gameplay tiles.
Oh, I guess if are you trying to constrain the size to match like the train car?
Not exactly. If I constrain it, then you'd have like 2.
Right. But like roughly uniform in size for all the different cars.
Yeah, it should feel like, because this is like a long, narrow one, so it should feel long, narrow in the interior. But like, we don't worry too much about like lining up the exact size. Like buildings, they're like the TARDIS, they're bigger on the inside, so it's fine that this is like very small. It only takes a part of a room, but then you go into it and suddenly you're in like this interior that's like a whole thing. See, I'm gonna copy paste this one over here just as like a reference. This is like the one that was in the trailer, just to like show like this is what an interior might look like. And so having this just to like as inspiration is cool.
Yeah, you got to add the snow right by the doors to make it look like when the door opens, it like blows in, or people are tracking snow in.
That's a good point. Yeah, wait, let me copy this door. So probably want to have like one tile here, one tile here. That feels sort of like that set up. And then, so yeah, it would be fun to have some like minor like combat scenario. Like if I'm just walking through an empty room, that is boring and bad, and I don't want to do that. And so there should be like some stuff here. Yeah, I could like, let me just do this. So this is like what Sandy was saying. So snow that got blown in. It might be neat to do ice tiles. Let me like grab. We could do like, oh man, this train car's really like frozen over. There's like some ice in the middle here.
I feel like it'd be fun too to think about like, because I know you guys are you guys kind of plan different areas like thematically. I feel like it might be fun to think about like what kind of car this is, like if it had cargo in it, if it was like a dining car, yeah, like if it's in the front, right where the engine is. Well, probably not the engine.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, there aren't a ton of tiles yet for things like passenger cars. It's mostly like engine room tile pieces, but having all that in mind is definitely, I agree, like going to be important.
Yeah, I was thinking it could be like passenger car. The other thing though is we don't always have like tiles for everything. So here I'm like, this is gonna be, I guess, like the bench. I guess you can't really do that because it's 2 tiles, it takes up the whole hallway. So imagine these beds are like passenger seats. Like this is the seat, and like this is like the little table between them.
Eli, you could bring the benches in from another tile set if you wanted.
Yeah, I have. Let me like see what I can bring in. I had this.
Would single tile benches work?
Yeah, we have those.
Yeah, we have. This is one I was using earlier. We can just like do these and like.
The chairs.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so probably want like just that with like 1 tile in the middle for like there's a table here. Wait.
That's fun.
Yeah, I could do this.
Oh, fun! We've also got. I know we have like those box objects. Maybe somewhere in like
the crates.
Yeah, sorry, the crates. If you wanted like another cargo car.
Yeah, I want to have like some room in the middle though, so I don't want to have them like this is all just static collision tiles, right? Maybe there should only be tables. Some of these. This could also be like an opportunity to put enemies in here. It might just for like playability. It might help if this space was just open though. Let's see. What kind of gameplay do I want to put here is the real question. put Mina in here. So like, let's just like show this in game. So yeah, it's like a very tight, constrained space. Oh, let me actually hook up the doors. That's, I guess, the other thing.
Oh, that actually looks great. I feel like that's a great substitute. The little chairs with the table.
Yeah,
I'm like surprised. Like that actually works great.
yeah, they're nice. Just hook these up.
Yeah, there's so many like pieces and across other tile sets that if you have a library in your head of what we have already, or you just want to mess around, you could like import a bunch of tile sets from other zones and use them to temp out stuff.
Yeah, I try to do that. Although I do like it does get annoying when you have like a million tile sets. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to use them sparingly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this should like all connect. So yeah, you're going here, go through here. It's like, oh, but then if you press the button, obviously we want to put this button not right here. This should not be like this easy, but like it'd have to be somewhere. I don't know. That's the other tricky thing about this is like, since we're so crunched for vertical space, it's like, where do you put this, right? It's like this. This could always be a backtrack thing, or maybe the button's here, and you press the button and that moves it, and that's like equivalent of a drop-down row. But maybe this would probably be like a longer horizontal screen. Maybe the button's like on a ledge, like up to the top left. But yeah, there's like, you only got 2 tiles of space down here. But yeah, and then if you press the button, can't go in the door while it's moving, but there we go. And then you go over here, and now you're across. And so like, what are some, let me like bring out all of the things we have to work with. I think grind rail probably would not work in a tight space like this. Bad rat could be fun. There's some enemies that we like don't have yet that I might want to use here. Like this is supposed to be like a ghost train sort of, and so we have a ghost enemy that isn't in yet. These snow boulders.
What happens if the train rolls into ice blocks? Do they just overlap, or does it break the ice blocks?
I think they would just overlap. I can see it would be fun if they broke the ice block.
Yeah, it'd be cool if you released a bunch of enemies when the train moved over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, oh man, I gotta go through and then fight all these things.
Yeah, these are all good notes. I mean, this is like a brand new feature we're just starting to work on, and so having these notes are good. But yeah, it'll just move through. Oh god.
Yeah. Ghost ice.
We can do that though. I think that's fun as like because anything we can do to make this not the same exact thing as press the button to open the door, the better. And so I think that's a good idea of something we could do. But yeah, I was thinking if this is like a frozen over train car, and that's like the thematic idea we're going with, then there definitely should be some ice blocks here.
There's a like more of an engine style switch or like a lever in one of the Trainyard tile sets. It's not hooked up yet to actually function, but it would be cool if rather than having the switch blocks that you step on, it's like a lever that you pull and it starts the train moving on the track.
Yeah, I agree. Well, also because these switches are like you press it once and it's permanently pressed. If you had like a lever that you could toggle, that could like lead to like gotta move the train back and forth a little bit type of situations.
We should make a bug for that object. I feel like that would be really useful.
Yeah,
here.
That, and also like there are these ladders you can see up here. These are non-functional. This is just art. But like if we wanted something like that, that could be a thing. But that would be like a lot more art. That's like Mina would need new frames for that.
Yeah, definitely.
What do we want to put in here? Angle bouncer could be fun. Here, wait. Like object content. Put angle bouncer. The weird thing about putting angle bouncer here is that angle bouncer, you won't be able to tell like what direction it's gonna move starting out, right? I guess this one I'll do like this, and actually probably better to have it like 90, 270 maybe. Yeah, so like this way they're both going towards the player. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I haven't really messed around with ice block and angle bouncer, but I think that's a good combo. And then like maybe I put bones in here, so it's like you're incentivized to use both of these. And oh, explosive barrel is another thing. This is actually one of the recent things we added with ice blocks, is that now explosions will just like break them open. So like having an explosive barrel I can use here might be cool. So yeah, you go like here. So now it's like I will like whip that, and now it's like, oh, it's free, and it's like all bouncing around. Maybe I can use this one as like ammunition against it. It's like starting to be something. I can like do that to just break them open if I want to. Might be more interesting even if this was a snow boulder. This is the fun game you play where it's like, where is explosive barrel again? Oh, it's the one I had selected. That's why. Okay. Let me just add that there. And then snow boulder would be fun as well because snow boulder pierces through things, and so having like a fun like bowling setup is like cool here. That's neat. So it's like, do I want to free them all, or do I want to be like precise about it and be like, oh, need like free this one guy and then do that.
Nice. I like that you have to line that up to hit him, but if you miss, then you release another one.
Yeah. What might make this more interesting, like I was saying, is if this being so like cramped, like makes it so the angle bouncer only has like 2 spots. We already have enough vertical containment, I think, and so like maybe we could do this if we want to. Breathe these up. That's still very cramped, so I'm gonna like try this. Or oh, you know what we could do to keep? Because I like these little table setups. Could like move that over there and there. Just do that quickly. And I guess these would still. This could be like this, but then there's nothing in the middle. Like I guess the implication is that like it got snowed over. Anyway. But yeah, having like more space for you to move around, and so that way like it's a little harder for me to like line this up to hit him. Yeah. And then like, oh no, I slid into that one. Broke it out. I guess this is a little lame. Yeah, I think no, I should just make these be these 1 tiles, and that way these guys aren't gonna get stuck. And then let me real quickly do like a candle pass.
While you're placing the candles, when you burrow into the ice, is there a behavior change in how burrow works?
Oh yeah. Let me show that off again for people who are just joining. Let me also put candles here, so you're like incentivized to slow down and deal with this. So I'll put like low value stuff here, and then like maybe I always forget to test these out with like sub weapons. Pretty fun here. Or like shield buckler is cool with ice. Yeah, let me show that off again, the unique behavior. So like, yeah, shield buckler is like, oh, I don't have any, recently changed so you don't get magic just picking up sub weapons. I have to manually. Okay, so like shield buckler can like send it flying. But yeah, the ice behavior is you'll burrow into it, you like go shooting off in a direction. I can't like change my trajectory after I've like chosen one. You just stick in the ground and then yeah, just go fly in one way. So it's like a little harder to control yourself. It feels very like slippery, but I also get this like big burst of momentum. Like you can go over a 3-tile pit with this, I think. So it's like uncontrollable momentum, but you could use that to your advantage. Yeah, I think something like this is cool. So yeah, I can like just do this if I want to. Now I'm like, actually don't like the fact that this curves in, because if I just break it, it'll instantly hit me. So yeah, I think actually I am just going to go back to this being rotation 0. There we go. And like now they're like more symmetrical. And so yeah, now it's like I could, if I want to, go like that. And now it's like, how do these work? Oh, they're like coming out here. Whoa. That's cool. They're actually like lingering in spaces different times. Then the candles. Candles are like fine. They're candles. Kind of boring to have like so many candles. I want to like have more interesting stuff here. Like if we're doing ice, I haven't really done much of this, but like if there's more like stuff to burrow in the ice that like pushes me to actually like use this cool unique mechanic that we made. So like let's maybe a higher value one here.
Hey, if Mina walks into an explosive barrel, I forget, like if you bump into one, does it move, or only if you whip it?
Yeah, it's only if you whip it. They're just like normal collision.
Okay. I'm trying to think, like, because she, like, kind of slips on the ice so much, like, if there's something you could put where, like, you don't want to kind of, like, you want to watch out and not bump into it while she's running around.
Yeah, I mean, like, ice tiles are sort of like that. If there's, like, an enemy in the ice. Yeah, I was messing around with setups like that. Yeah, I think this is, like, a fun, low-key sort of ice tile setup that we could use. And, yeah, I like the... I think we should have, like, a bonus room that's just, like, burrowing around for buried bones in the ice. I feel like that's fun. Yeah, I should put more buried bones in the ice. That, like, makes me actually, like, interact with stuff more. There should be something that like, encourages me to actually use this space, though. I'm, like, not... Maybe I should just use candles. What can I put in that space? Snow boulder, there's ice block.
Eli, what are you trying to think through?
I'm thinking like this space is like it's cool that it's open there, but I want to like put something there. Maybe I could literally just have like a buried bone or two in there. I don't want to go ham on the buried bones. If there's like too many, like, and then it feels like, oh god, I gotta spend all this time, like dealing with it. Oh, it could be like a sparkle. I could like have a buried bone somewhere. It's like, okay, that's not buried. Sparkle one. I could have maybe some breakables. I think Bridget was talking about, like, what if there were some crates? Let's put some crates here and, like, put...
I wonder if you could set up the chairs, too, to, like... Because right now they're kind of symmetrical, but I wonder in, like, an alternate version, if you could set up the chairs to kind of, like, I don't know, push the player more narrowly through, like, a path to come.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They can like zigzag or something. See, do these breakables like add anything?
Yeah, like if you had like, you know, 2 at the bottom and then 2 at the top, like you'd have to go up and then down or something.
Yeah. Let me test that out real quick. I was doing something like that, but let me go back to what we were talking about before with like this, and then there's like the thing in the middle. And then it could like zigzag, and that way.
I was thinking vertically too, like if you had like
Oh, I see what you
a
mean.
chair and then another chair like just below it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, we could have like, yeah, maybe not for this setup, but I see what you mean, where it's like
Yeah, like an alternate.
like a this type of go under over.
Yeah, like a bed instead of a chair.
Yeah. But
Bed shape.
yeah, if we had like longer rows of like if we had like a train booth with like these are benches and then there's like this guy in the middle, or I don't think they have like a tall table, but yeah, something like that, or like maybe it would work like this in the middle. Anyway, yeah, I think we're gonna have like a art tile pass in this area, so thinking of more of those tiles we want would be good. Anyway, I think this is a fun little setup. Let's like make another one. So we did like train interior. I want to try out the thing that we just mentioned, which was ice tile. I'll show off some of the existing ice tile setups just so you can see what we've already done with it. So like here's me messing around with it. So like this is like, oh, there's some ice blocks and I want to like go narrowly in between. From a smart cookie, I can like, ooh, push that into the pit and then I don't have to deal with it. So yeah, trying to avoid releasing enemies from ice blocks. That's sort of the thing Bridget was talking about, of like, don't want like there should be a thing that I don't want to collide with. Here is like ice tiles and pits.
Or you can always use hazard block too.
Oh, that's another one, yeah. Hazard block, or even just like regular spikes.
Yeah.
I'd say this was like icy catwalk. I wonder. I think Ian just changed how fast you go on these. I wonder if this is still, yeah, that works. But yeah, the emphasis on this setup was like being able to like speed run it real cool and like do those, but it's like real tricky. And yeah, I was also thinking about like these sorts of ice block things where it's like, if I'm not careful, I might release a guy. But like, let's do some more like fun ice style stuff and not like what's a fun like bonus secret room where I'm just like having fun with this. So let's go over here. Wait, yeah. Here.
Eli, I don't know if you're reading them, but the amount of train puns over the last
Oh.
hour has been absurd.
Yeah. Any highlight train puns?
Hold on. I want to find some, but I have to scroll a lot because there's so many.
So many trains. Let's see. So
Darktone said that they're not losing this game of puns. They practically trained for this.
Oh no.
And then Shadowhog said, well, it can sometimes happen at the junction of great pun minds. That was good.
Perfect.
Red Yacht said they need more training. Just lots of that.
This is good because there's a character in the game who does a lot of puns, and so we need to up our pun game. We need at least 27 train puns. on my desk stat.
FP said what linkage is there between this world and the others, and clarified it's a train suspension pun, so I feel like we're getting pretty detailed.
Yeah, we got to bring in a train specialist. Like, we need to bring in a consultant for the train puns. Let's see. Okay, so let me copy this over. Copy that. Mina over here. Okay. And so yeah, I'm just big old room with nothing but ice in it. What can we do with it? And so I know
when you exit burrow out of ice, does it launch you farther than normal? That looked pretty far. Like,
yeah.
You've got some speed. I wonder if you could do something with that.
Yeah, no, I know it does launch you further. And so I think in the GDD it said you should be able to clear a 3-tile pit. And so let me see if that is in fact the case. Yeah, so that's a fun thing we can do here.
Is that 3 tiles?
Yeah, it's 3 tiles.
Hell yeah.
And so, like, right off the bat, when I see I can clear a 3-tile pit with it, I'm like, and something we might want to do early on when we're introducing these is like, stretch these out, and then
3-tile gap. 3-tile gap.
and there, so we have like a little something to make you snake around. Get this, and then, and I'm just thinking there needs to be a moment where it's like, don't do it here, do it over here instead. But I gotta like, I guess push the player. I guess I start you out over here. Okay, and you can do like a circuit with it like this. So it's like, or no, it should be like this. And maybe like it's here. So, like now we're getting the player to think about like, that's not where you should do it. You should do it over here instead. Whoa. Okay. So that's gonna be the basic premise for this room is I wanna use this to my advantage. In all the other setups, it's been this is a negative, poopy, bad thing, and the setup would be way easier if the ice wasn't there. And so now we're gonna make a cool, fun setup where it's all about the player using ice to their advantage. So it'll probably like read a little better if I do like that. I'll space these out. Maybe this is like too, like, duh, I get it. But I think it's fun to like line up. Okay. The awkward thing is when you have a 3-tile pit, 3 tiles is an odd number, and so this side of the room is bigger than this one, and so we're gonna have to figure out what to do with that. And this might be too far though. Can you even make it? No, you cannot make it from that distance. So these bones, that's good though. Like the bones should be doing a good job of instructing you like where to burrow. And you are taking a risk, I guess, by like starting like further back. You're taking a risk of like undershooting it. Maybe that's a bad thing though. Maybe like I don't want to accidentally lead players to do the wrong thing. Like, what, you told me to do that? No. So maybe it should just be the 1. We're gonna make it 1 at the end. That should be a skull. Let's just do this is like a lower value 1. Just to give you something to collect. Yeah. And then another thing we can do This might be too much. Is we're gonna have floating bones in the air.
Whoa. Like little wisp bones.
Yeah, we don't use these enough. These are like fun to have something to jump for.
Parkour.
Yeah. This one's a little awkward because it's like kind of bleeding off the top. But that's fine. Okay, and maybe these buried ones are like too much. I think jumping through a hoop is like fun, and so I'll just keep that. I'm also thinking because I think the one on the bottom reads better. I'm gonna actually flip this setup on its head a little bit. Ground layer. So I'm gonna flip this around and put this one on the bottom, this one on the top, and okay. So that's the basic idea. But now, what do I actually want to do with this? So this is just an empty room where you jump back and forth. That is very boring. And so first thought is like there could be, we have our palette over here of guys. I should like bring in some generics as well, just because we don't have all of our enemies for this area. So like Cooper, level 2 Cooper is good to have. Anyone else? Paladin didn't work. It's usually sign knife. We haven't been freaking this guy. This guy's actually kind of tricky to set up. Wait, where is it? You have to have like one of these zones. He has like a special little rectangle. Copy that over. Sign knife could be interesting here. We haven't like done any sign knife setups. I think like the most basic version of this though is definitely gonna be like just putting up like a bat right here. That's like lame. I don't want to take the lame approach. Also, this is like a light, easy breezy, fun setup. I don't want to like have a duel with like a big complicated enemy.
Easy breezy fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, I wanted this to be like an easy breezy, fun bonus room. But if this is like, actually I have to duel this really complicated enemy. Yeah, it's cool to have like a setting where I'm like thrust to a corner with this guy. He could actually be sort of like Bogart in the top over here. And then line of ice blocks here. Gotta do something. This space is just so empty. I also, something I need to do when I'm doing these passes is like this room is one big rectangle, and that is like lame and not interesting. And so one thing I can do is, if this is a secret rooms can kind of afford to have like, to be like condensed. It'd be like a lot more that. So one thing we can do is like bring that in, so there's less of it. And like maybe, like I don't know exactly how you got into the secret room, but like it could be a thing like here, and there's like, again, I'm like trying to keep things symmetrical, so I'm like lining this up instead of making that a one tile thing, like line up 2, 2, 2. So that could be a thing. This feels like less of a fun runway if we do that. So like maybe this can still be there. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should also just be 5. And then like maybe this like goes back a little bit. Or oh no, okay. This is gonna be a fun idea. I'm gonna make some secret dirt here. So I'll put this in the under layer, and then I don't have a secret dirt tile for this yet, but I'll just put this here, and then ground go away for a second. This should be here. This goes back. This is a corner. This goes straight. And if I go and I add a breakable wall here, and then okay, so now like this will all hopefully ice works on secret dirt. I have not tested this. So if I go down here, that like open that up. You know, I think if that's secret dirt, I can afford to push this back an extra tile.
Whoa, what are you gonna put there?
Yeah, I'm gonna put like an enemy or like some. There's got to be like something fun in there, right? So ground you, grab this, put that here. Sure, here. Let me get rid of the ground layer so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, just do that. Okay, and so there's gonna be an enemy there. There should be like something fun in there. Yeah, so like open up this like nice little nook and cranny. There should be like, another thing we can do is we could have sign knives in secret dirt. And this will probably be very silly, but let me, like, I just open up secret dirt and bam, bunch of knives. I don't think that won't be fun though, just because you'll just spam whip. You're like set up to be able to perfectly deal with this. Like I do this and it's like, jump scare knives. I guess it's kind of something.
Jump scare really slow knives.
Yeah, I can actually speed them up. That's
Can you? Ooh.
Oh, I can do so much with these.
Bullet knife.
Yeah, I can make their amplitude. Okay, what's their move speed by default?
Can you make cosine knives?
I think you can actually.
Sign knives are so Shovel Knight.
Yeah. So yeah, there's wavelength, amplitude. No, I don't have a cosine option. I should add like there should be like an offset option, so I can make a cosine knife.
Just drag it one tile over, and it becomes a cosine knife.
But yeah, I can like. This is gonna be like way faster now. That's too much though. That's way too much. I can also. I wonder if it'll crash if I I can mess around with the amplitude and like so I can make this. So let's go with the 3. I think we shouldn't like have inconsistent like move speeds for these in general though. We should like the reason we have the option to mess around with these is just so level design can like play around with it until they find something they like. But okay, that does work, although it's very slow. Yeah, we shouldn't. I don't think we should have like straight move and sign knife though. I think it's more fun. But like I can. I mean, what's the amplitude by default? Default is 2.5. So like I can make this like 4, and then
If you want something to shoot out, Bad Rat could be cool because he just throws all those little projectiles.
I don't think I'm actually going to use sign knife here, but I just wanted to show off like this is a thing we can do. If we're gonna have ice block in like the second half of the setup, it probably makes some degree of sense to put like. I wonder if this will even work. If I have like ice blocks here and here, I just feel it's almost like hat on a hat. Like I already just broke through secret dirt, and now there's also an ice block in the way. Now that like I sort of get the double hit there. So I don't think that works necessarily. I'm trying to think of like what else we can do with this. There should be some ice blocks, so I feel like ice block is a cool thing to have here. I mean, as long as we put them here and here, then we won't hit them. We could also just put a batteret there, like Bridget was saying, batteret and like some bones. Yeah, I don't know what that's accomplishing though. With these ice blocks, I mean. So yeah, I'm gonna try batteret here. Content. Put that back. And then we said we wanted some like buried bones here, so like this is a good opportunity for said buried bones. Yeah. There needs to be like some big prize over here though. Right now it's just like I'm going around just to get this bone, but I can already like grab the bone here. I just won't survive. So it needs to be like something else. Open this up and it's like, whoa. Oh, I gotta like react. That's fun. I like the fact that he like, I have to like react to that very suddenly. And like, yeah, this is fun. I think this is actually a good call. Batteret here. It's like a little surprise. But yeah, what can we do over here? That'd be interesting.
What if you put ice on the other side and like an obstacle? So when you land, you keep sliding, and you got to figure out what to do.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm not sure how. Oh, you mean like ice tiles on the other side?
Yeah, like on the bottom. So like when you, because right now I think you have it like you launch out of ice and then you land on normal tile. But like, what if you just kept sliding?
Yeah, that could be a thing. If there was like, yeah, you'll like keep some of your momentum that way. That's a good call. And then I can have like, there could be some stuff here like, oh no, you let the gooper out. Although then this bad rat feels like too much. I do like the idea of like slip and slide into the gooper. Put you up the middle so you're like more in my way. So like go over here and then yeah, you like go sliding a little further. Unless you like actively cancel out your momentum, you're gonna hit that gooper. Then yeah, this feels like Batteret is like too much, and so I'm gonna run with this idea of instead of this being a Batteret, this is now cool, like ice maze a little bit. It's gotta be like, so we need to have like a reward at the end of this. If this is just a secret room where I'm like getting something, like we could always do like this is actually like a critical path room and you like exit here, and that's like one thing we could do. But in the case of a secret room, there should be like a chest here. We could also like put fun rewards in these ice tiles. I do want to like not lean too much into like ice tile maze because I've done a couple setups like that. And so the more that this is just like maybe just a couple things dotted around. Over here. But then there's also like maybe a couple I want to get. Like I want to get that one. Maybe and like a couple of these can have. This is maybe like too loosey goosey. like, yeah, now I have, like, I go across here. I might, oh, no, there's a thing. Whoa. Oh, I think fighting a gooper on this is actually kind of fun. Yeah, now, though, I like...
What do you like about Gooper on ice?
Oh,
Like that sounds like a great like.
I would watch that.
Yeah, I would
yeah.
watch.
It's just like, especially when it does the submerge move, I'm like running around a lot. Like I have to reposition, and like that makes me start sliding, and that like makes fun things start happening here.
Oh, that's.
Maybe there should be more mandatory things, because right now it's like if I'm smart and I like just play it super safe, then like then I'm like not popping any of these, and it's like I don't want ice block to be, let's try to avoid the fun gameplay from happening. So yeah, like just walking around there isn't that fun, and I wanted this to be like easy breezy ice setup, although maybe easy breezy ice setup can be a different setup. What can we do with this? I like this moment is cool, and this is something we should like focus on. Maybe
like
there. I just said I was gonna try to avoid ice maze, but like maybe if we try to have we can break this into quarters a little bit. Although again, we run into the issue of odd numbers.
Why are odd numbers bad? I feel like it's okay.
Yeah, I just because it's odd, I can't make this symmetrical now. But that's fine. Pardon me, do we do this symmetrical now? Maybe this is just fine. And then like now there can be. We could put like a cool, fun, put a big bone in here. I wouldn't want to put a bone stone in here, just because if you put a bone stone in here, then it could go into the pit, and generally we don't want like bone stone gone for good. I mean, if you go into a checkpoint and reemerge, you can still get it, but
Hey, Michael, what were you saying earlier?
I forgot.
Or nothing. Never...
It was not that important. It was probably going to be a train pun.
then like, yeah, I do like this in the middle because I have to like go to multiple sides in order to free it. And here you could still avoid popping the goopers if you wanted to, but at least I'm forced to interact with the ice.
The gooper cross.
Could also be a thing where you had like ankle bouncers in these.
Does the whip break more than if it hits an ice block? Does it go through and break the one behind? Or I guess the one you whip.
Yeah, it's like collision. So like,
it might be fun to put. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
If you could put goopers next to the bone, so that there's only one that you can move out of the way and get access to the bone without breaking.
No, you're right. That's a smart thing. If these are all, I guess this one can't be, but yeah, I think that's a good call. So I have to freeze at least some of the goopers. Yeah, this turned into a fun little setup. I guess the bad rat kind of feels like a non sequitur now. Like this is the ice tile goop setup, and now it's like, and bad rat
featuring bad rat.
Yeah. Oh, I remember when you were mentioning like the ice maze, but like trying to keep it fun earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like to me like a lot of fun comes from the tension of like being in a maze, or like things are okay now, but trying not to break the ice and make it really bad, and like there being either like the bad rat throwing stars at you that you're trying to avoid, but also try not to like push the blocks to release the goopers. Like that could be fun.
Okay, this is good, and this also gives me a fun setup for like, you could put this one into a pit. Look at you, little smart guy. You can even do this one as well. I'm trying to like, because pushing them into the pit is really fun, but at the same time, it's like if you do all of them like that and it's just all free, that's like boring.
I was wondering earlier if you could put like a wall, so like you cross the pit to get over and you cross the pit to get back, but like there could be a wall kind of midway through vertically. So like you can't just push them into the pit, you have to like deal with them a bit more. Yeah, like around there.
Yeah, I could do that. I like being able to push them into the pit, but maybe if it's just this one you can put into the pit, or like this one also, yeah, I could like.
That seems like the reward for solving the puzzle is like you get to dump them into the pit. Also, I didn't realize that was the solution to getting the bone stone without fighting them. I totally would have messed it up.
Yeah, so, and it's cool that there's like, and you have to fight at least some of them. Actually, no, you don't, because you can like, yeah, you can go around, push this guy into a pit, then go up here, push this guy into a pit, and then get it. So there is a solution. I'm actually going to make this a bone. I feel like the chest, like this feels like so central now, like this is so well framed, and like we're building this whole thing around it. So I'm going to put the bone stone here, and if you can't push this into the pit anymore, I don't have to worry about players pushing the bone stone into the pit. Where's bone stone? It's right here. So yeah, put that there. And then there, and then those shouldn't just be rocks. That should be like something. I can make it 2 trees, but then it won't like bleed out a little bit. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, there's like this one tile. It's it might just have to be a tree and then 2 rocks.
Can you make like a really wide tree? I guess you can't.
No wide trees here. Just a tree
Tree
sandwich. Tree with some rocks in the middle. Yeah. Sometimes like, how do I fill this space? I think that's fine. Sandy does an art pass. Like after the level's done, like Sandy goes through and does an art pass and like makes new tiles and rearranges all the tiles. And so like I think about art in the sense of like, because the tricky thing with this compared to Shovel Knight is that Shovel Knight, the art was mostly in the background, and there's obviously some foreground art, but like you can like do anything just by putting something in the background. Whereas in here, it's like the background is the game space, and so all the art has to be part of the game space. And so as a level design team, we have to be thinking about like, how does this room look? Like all of the theming elements really have to happen in the primary game space. And so I can't just say like, Sandy will handle it. It's fine. I want to do something with this over here. It could just be like a ignore, like, oh, you can skip the scooper. How about that? Something to make this not literally just I'm walking forwards. I could also do something here. This is like such a tight space to fight a Cooper. But this is like, yeah, I can just push it directly into the pit. So that's like, I guess the one thing I could do here is like put that there. So it's like, actually, in this case, you want to push the Cooper and then go back around to push that. Yeah, anything to like. Okay, and then also, like, these corners are kind of empty, and we talked about how it's really fun to have buried bones in ice. So I'm just gonna like put some buried bones around here.
Since the bad rat is kind of a non sequitur, I wonder if you could change it so that like it's more in your path. So like you have to break secret dirt like on the way to the ice part at the bottom.
Yeah, I think that what I mean by bad rat being a non sequitur is that this is a screen that's like about ice blocks, ice tiles, and like Gooper. and like that interaction. This is like I'm testing the player on those ideas, and so suddenly I'm like testing the player on a completely different idea. And I think that's the problem. I do like how this Bat Rat encounter goes, and so I might use an encounter like this. Like, surprise Bat Rat is cool, but I think there has to be some way that this can be an ice block Gooper setup, or like just an ice block, or maybe this could literally just be like replace Bat Rat with Gooper, and this could be like a bunch of Goopers. That could be the moment, is like, now I'm fighting for okay.
Now it's definitely a Gooper room.
Yeah. So yeah, I want to go here, and I'm like thinking about, ooh. And then I go down here. And then it's like, oh my god! Ah! What have I gotten myself into? That's like fun.
Does it seem weird to you that to get the bone, you have to push it back into the open?
Yeah, it's like ice blocks and screen edges are like weird.
Yeah. Do you think if like you just put, well, I guess it'd be weird to have a rock there.
I mean, you could just whip it vertically though too, right? If you got the Gooper first and then just stood at the bottom.
No, that wouldn't work because it's up against the wall.
Oh. So it won't do anything? Like you can't just break them?
Nope.
You can't go under ice blocks.
What was that, Michael?
You can't go under ice blocks.
No, you can't burrow under them. Yeah, I mean, we could do this.
Yeah,
technically, you can push the Gooper into the door still, but at least, like, the one that I want you to push isn't awkward anymore. It's like that goes there, and that feels a little more.
Yeah, it seems less egregious because you don't want them. They'd have to do all the work to push the Gooper back into that.
Yeah.
And that's not really what you want them to do. So, seems like it's not really encouraged, which I think was the issue with the previous setup.
Also, these 4 Goopers, you can just like kind of spam them down. I also think 4, it's like too punishing if you if you mess up and they like all come after you. I think 4 is too much. Let's try 3. But yeah, realistically, a player's not like, first of all, a player's gonna be aligned with the bottom because they're whipping this, and so they're not gonna like whip all of them. Yeah, that's a thing that can happen, is like, spam these down. But I don't know, honestly, if you like reacted that quickly and spammed those guys down, like, I don't know, good for you. Good reflexes. I don't know. There's always this feeling of like, oh, that was too easy, but sometimes it's like, actually, that was just the right amount of easy. Like, players like winning in video games sometimes, and so sometimes that's cool. Okay, so this, I think, that's all I'll do for this setup for now. So here's how it's working. I do that. I push that back. I like go down here, and I like, ooh. Oh my gosh, whoa, run away. Here I can't cross on the top, I gotta cross on the bottom. Cross over here, and oh no, ah! And then here is like, what's that? Oh no, I put that guy out. And then, but yeah, if you want the like true solution, it would be that, and then that, and then I don't have to fight the scooper. But like, if I'm good at the video game, like, I do get bones for killing these guys, so I might as well. Like, that's easy. Yeah, okay, I think this was like a fun little room, fun little loop-de-loop secret room we put somewhere. Yeah, I guess if you want to know more about, I guess, the ice block rules, I think ice block rules have been, like, a topic of discussion, so let me, like, show, where's the friggin' room? I have it around here. Here's my horrible ice block maze. So one of our goals with this was to, like, have ice blocks, like, have a sliding block that doesn't just wind up being, like, Pokemon strength boulder, like, sliding block puzzle. And so that's why we made it so you can break when it, like, hits things. So it's like, once you've interacted with it, it's gone and you have to contend with it. But But I wanted to have at least like one secret room where it's just like straight up an ice maze. So it's like here, it's like, okay, these are all against each other. I can't like whip them. So I gotta like look for the one weak spot. So it's like here, oh, I can whip that over there. Oh, I don't want to like push that into a pit, right? That would be bad. Then I can like go here. If I'm a dummy, I'll push this and unleash that gooper. But oh, there's like a secret dirt here, so I can like do that. And then oh, now I can push the gooper into a pit. Then I can go back and get that. Now that I've like made a little dent in here now. Oh, all these are free. And then like I can push this over here, get all these. But now I gotta fight a gooper. I can, if I whip that, then the gooper will get unleashed. But if I'm smarter about it, I can like go over here, push that up here, bam. Then like push this back here, because like the big one can go over the pit, and that gets me these. And then do a little bit of this, that. Here I gotta like do the bottom and the top in order to free this big one. I can push that into a pit, and then bam. But like my goal with these though is to make them like pretty free fun, not like you're thinking the whole time. Like let's do another run through of that where I'm like, I'm a big dummy and I'm messing up every single interaction in this whole room. Oh no, I freed that gooper. I pushed that into a pit. I broke this, so now I can't get those two anymore. They're like off limits. I pushed this into a pit, so I can't get that anymore. I pushed that into a pit. I did this, so now I can't even get that skull across the way. Even if I do all of that, and I've messed up in every conceivable way, I can still keep going and like get this cool prize at the end. And that way, what I don't want to happen is I don't want puzzles where I mess it up and like I gotta leave and re-enter the room in order to reset it. Like that is the type of puzzle I think we don't ever want in this game. And so yeah, even when it's like a puzzle, I want like the player to like think about it. Like this is the thinking man's object in the game, but like I also don't want this to be an object where I'm like suddenly it's Portal and I'm like in a different video game and it's horrible and I don't want to play it anymore. And like, oh, here's like a fun setup that I made. This is using the wind system. So now it's like curling over here, trying to get these. These ones are really hard. Wait.
Oh, that's cool. That it,
Okay, I missed it.
That's cool that it pushes the bones back towards.
Yeah. Because I was like, how do I get the item if I'm not allowed to go over there? And so yeah, the wind is the secret ingredient. But yeah, so like cool fun setups like this, but like I don't want every room that I make with these to turn into this. This was like my one. I allowed myself one to just get it out of the way, and now this is the ice maze. No more, please. And so yeah, I think we did some cool stuff with ice tile and ice block. We did that cool Dogapede setup. I guess how long are we going with it? Are we going until 2 or 2:30 with this?
I think it's however long you feel like.
I'm down to go the extra. In the calendar, I think it's slotted out till 2:30. So I'll keep going till 2:30. Then we can make like another fun setup.
Sounds good.
I guess
with the room you just showed in this room, Eli,
Yeah.
over here, do you know roughly how many rooms like that you'll make over the course of like trying to build out at least part of a level?
Oh geez, there's like a million. I mean, like,
because you did a lot last time, right?
yeah, I'm looking. Okay. I mean, some of these are like just already there. This was like messing around with like boss mock-ups. These aren't actual setups. Or like this, these aren't actual setups. But in terms of setups I've actually done for this level, that are like complete rooms that you go through. Again, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Like, yeah, I think, what room count did I hit with Bone Beach? Bone Beach definitely got into the hundreds by the end of it. And that's not even all the setups. Some of the setups just, like, got deleted or, like, changed so significantly it was basically a different setup by the end. But yeah, like, I mean, we're just trying to feel these ideas out and like see what we can do with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess. What are people like excited to see? We're gonna do one more setup. I'm gonna spend half an hour doing one more setup. So like we did trains.
Yeah, I think part of the problem too is like there's a few enemies that are on the way, right? Like Dogapede is in progress. There's also like the snowman, and isn't there like the hot cold guy also? Like there's a few more on the way. So once those are in, those are open up like more possibilities for setups.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to like do setups focused on a tile instead of being like I'm gonna do all of the train interiors now. And, you know, if I did that, then it's like, well, I want to have the ghost enemy in the ghost train, and so I gotta wait for the ghosts. And so, once those start coming online, yeah, but I don't want to, like, do too much that feels, like, permanent, without, like, all the tools in my toolkit, right?
Right.
I want to, like, do the pieces that I can, but if I don't have, like, my screws and screwdriver yet, I'm gonna like wait to do all the stuff I have to screw in until those are actually available, instead of doing like a weird thing where I substitute nails for screws, and now the whole piece of furniture is falling apart, and it's like now I'm trying to like swap out the nails for screws halfway through, and like they don't fit in the holes. Oh my god, no! So like yeah, I'm trying to focus on like these kind of one-off setups. And like just figuring out what's fun and what works. So I guess are people saying anything in chat of like what they want to see for this final setup? I have like this whole list. We can do like grind rails. We can do more stuff with ice tiles, snow boulder, sign knife is something that we haven't like messed around with. Anybody in chat?
Well, they're a couple seconds behind too, so they might have an idea in a second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking. I have chat open on my drawing tablet over here.
Grind rails. It's the first one coming in.
Grind rails.
It seems very
Okay,
popular.
everybody wants to see a grind rail setup. Let's do grind rails. I think this is also like a work in progress object, and so it'll be good to get some like feedback on it and like what we can do with it and what we like want to be able to do with it.
It's definitely further along, but it's further along, but I have like a list of things to like address and clean up. It doesn't even have art yet.
Yeah. For context, the art that we're using for this is like it's the same as this like switch vane that like lights up when you press a button. We're just like reusing that for now. But these are supposed to be like not like that at all. They're supposed to be like Frozen Trainyard. Like you can burrow under these. Where are they again? You can burrow under them. So they're supposed to look a little more like fences. Like they're like raised up rails. But yeah, I mean, I think the art works for what we need. Let's do a grind rail setup though. So yeah, what have I done with it and what have I not done with it? So like, here's a grind rail setup where I was doing like cross the little gap in order to like get over here. I'm like, oh no, the momentum pushed me into an ice block. And like bad rat is like sniping me. You gotta like time my jump to get over. Ah! Get out of here. Get. And then there's like a secret door over here. And then I did grind rail secret room with like here I was playing around with like bad rat. I haven't done this yet, but I need to like update bad rat to be able to go under these as well. But I was like thinking of how these like segment combat arenas basically, and then also using that grind rail to like accomplish something here. Yeah, the face and direction when you like hop on these can be a little weird sometimes. But yeah, so mess around with more platforming. Oh, I haven't shown this one off. Let me show this, I guess. This is me messing around with like the timing with these hazard blocks. So it's like, oh, I gotta like dodge it. There's like these hanging hooks. Oh, I could do more with the hanging hooks and grind rails. That might be a good combo. These were originally made for Bone Beach, but then we didn't really wind up using them. But they work well with grind rails because like I'm jumping from grind rail to a hanging hook to a grind rail again. So yeah, this would probably be like the most complex thing I would do with it. This is like, it's actually not that hard though. You just have to like jump right before. It's like pretty free, but it looks cool, and that's the important part. So yeah, we've done a lot of platforming. There's some combat. Oh yeah, I just said we want to try hanging hooks with them. Let's just make a big old empty room with these and like see what stands out as like a fun thing. Just slap one down over here. Okay, so like we're over here. Let's like add a camera. I've also done like a lot of one screen setups. You know what I haven't done with these? I haven't done a vertical room with them at all. Wait, need something to measure against. So, nope. Yeah. Screen spot. There we go. And okay, let's make like a cool vertical screen. There. I like moving these guys out of the way. Here. And then I guess this is supposed to be a secret room. These setups wouldn't actually be connected to one another, but it is fun sometimes to be like, okay, here's the challenge. Gotta like enter here, leave here. So I guess you would like, this is a secret, so you probably maybe enter here and like leave through here or something. I do with like a vertical. Here's the tricky part. Let me show this. Copy these grind rails. The tricky part with vertical rooms is that you have like so little room you can see in front of you. So if I like play here, again, we have that screen crunch where it's like twice as far horizontally. I have 16 tiles here and I only have 8 tiles here, and like I'm halfway through, right? And so if I'm vertical scrolling, like let's look at the grid, I have 3.5 whole tiles I can see in front of me, and for a lot of scenarios that's not gonna cut it. Like if I'm on a grind rail here, like I'm not gonna be able to react at all to anything. Whereas if I'm like going horizontally, I can like see what's going on ahead of me. Like, I timed that poorly, but I can actually like see where I'm going. And so, but what can we do? If we're not gonna do those like tight scripted sequences where I'm like reacting real quick, what can I do in a cool vertical setting? And maybe it's the answer we come to is you can't do anything and this is a bad idea, but it's good to try and then figure that out instead of assuming that's the case.
Yeah, and like vertical rails should work. I mean, they should work just as fine as normal like horizontal rails.
Yeah.
So, and if they don't, then that's a bug, and I should fix
it. Yeah. Part of me is thinking like, be like a crisscross thing. I'm like crossing a gap. And that's one of the areas that we have specs for this is there's supposed to be like a bridge that you cross going upwards. And I think that's supposed to be a vertical scrolling room. And it should have some grind rails, but it's like a train bridge. And so trains go on rails and you should be able to grind on those rails. So something like this, I guess this is going to be a pseudo setup for that idea. I wonder if I have like a mock-up of that. Wait. I have them. I'm gonna try to. It's desktop. I have a list of mock-ups. Okay, so yeah, this is not artistic work. Is just my mock-up for level design purposes. I'm a better artist than this, I swear. But yeah, this is like the bridge section. So like at the beginning, you get off of a train, like drops you off. So like all the bridge is out, gotta huff it on foot, and there's like some NPCs around here you can like talk to. And then there'll like be some BG, like some background art here. We like, one of the tricky things is because you're like looking at the ground, you like can't see the background, and so as much as we can, we like having these like just top half of the screen is taken up by background. But you can't do a lot with gameplay then because, you know, half of the screen is just a background. And so having like a moment like that at the beginning makes sense. But then it would curve up, and there would be like a rickety bridge that could like curve around, and there's like some grind rails that like go over a gap. It would sort of feel like Crypt Bridge a little bit. So yeah, I guess that's maybe what we're testing out here is like how well does that concept work. And so like let's like my initial idea here is like we probably want to have some gaps that I'm grind railing over. Just gonna like lay these down, and I gotta like whoop, and then like maybe there's a really small gap here. I could like fight some guys here, and I gotta like grind across. But like let's just see if this works and doesn't fall apart. I think probably okay. That works. If you jump, you're screwed. But you're not even screwed if you jump. If you like land, you're fine. Okay, that is cool.
Yeah, when you exit rail, it like keeps your momentum for a little bit. It shouldn't be like when you just naturally stop. Yeah.
If it was one
It's about a
tile,
tile
it'd be
and
a
a half.
problem. But 2 tiles, it's a-okay. Yeah, it's good to have those types of measurements in mind. So yeah, this type of thing where I'm like crossing a gap, it's almost similar to what we're doing with the ice tile here, where it's like it lets me create these moments where it's like I gotta cross here and then like go up and then cross there. I can do like cool zigzags. I want to actually do cool stuff with the grind rail though. Like if I'm just using this to like cross and there's like not like a thing I can do here, that's like kind of lame. Maybe like the grind rail could like curve. It could also be one of those. Okay, wait. This is.
Wait, for the record, right now, I think it only. I haven't tried like a diagonal, but I think it. Yeah, I don't know if we support that.
No, it doesn't need to like curve. When I meant curve, I meant like at 90 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean like. Here's a random thought I had. You know those like things where it's like whoa, and there's like, you know, and it's like pick the one that gets you to the prize. You know those things? They have one of those in like Mega Man, right? The Mega Man X Spider Boss. I like looked this up. Yeah, wait, okay. You know, this guy. Look at this guy. Like one of these might be interesting in like a vertical setting. Although that might actually be better horizontally. I don't know. Anyway, that's what made me. That's what I thought of.
Whoa, that would be fun. I have not. I have not tested like crossing rails.
Yeah.
So go for it though.
I mean, I sort of did it's not like a cross, but I don't think they need to like cross over directly. But where is it? I was doing when I was like originally mocking this stuff up. I was like a thing where it like goes like this, but then like you could also if you like took this path. It's like, oh, I gotta like jump over it. Ooh, and like, whoa, look at that. The one annoying thing about this is like if you jump at the wrong time, you like just straight up launch yourself. Actually, that works now, huh? Okay, never mind. I take that back. I mean, you
What
like.
was it? What did I fix? Did I fix something?
No, it's just.
Boo.
Yeah, it used to be that would like straight up like launch you into the wall and you'd fall into the pit. It's like, yeah. But now you like hit the wall and it's like all
Oh yeah, so the way that it works right now, and we might tweak this later, is that like if you run into a wall, you just kind of bonk off of it, and then if you get damaged, it like tries its best to keep you attached to the rail. So like even if you get hit, you shouldn't get knocked off.
Mhm.
So both of those should still be working.
Okay. So yeah, this setup might just be cool. You know what would also be cool is if I had to cross back somewhere. Like if this was a thing, I could emerge in the middle. What if I emerged in the middle here instead of the side? This is like closed off. Like, oh man, I can't get here. I guess this would be like here. I feel like maybe this would just be here. So that way I have to like fight through some final gauntlet. And then and so like yeah, now you have to like go back here. I guess it's not that interesting if the place we have to cross over is like right next to this one. I feel like I should have to go somewhere else to do that, right? Like it should be, this is in the middle. I have to cross over here. Left is the way forward. Right is the way to some cool secret.
I'm gonna test in my gym and see what happens if you have overlapping rails. I didn't even check.
Okay. Do this. Although you probably, I'll test this. I think if you're like really good at burrow jumping, you could get around here without doing it. But whatever, that's like something for the speedrunners to try.
Yeah, it seems like overlapping rails works fine.
Oh, that might be cool.
Maze of rails, spaghetti of rails,
Spaghetti rails.
spaghetti rails.
Okay. You probably cannot do this, right? Can you? Okay, I mean you can if you have the spider buddy trinket. Right, you can like do this, but that's cool. Like cool, you brought this awesome trinket from the all the way from the crypt. Now you get to like skip parts of this. So yeah, and then if there has to be like a chest like right here. Oh, and then this should be like over here. So there's like room enough for like at least something. This should be like here.
And I feel like the speed that you use, like the speed that you travel on grind rails, like kind of influences, I don't know, like how long we want them, which then influences like how big we want the room. So like it's all tweakable. We can make them slower.
Yeah. I tend to find in my setups that I always like make them too short and then just make the room longer. Like if we go to this setup here, I think this started out
That's so long.
yeah, as like I think this room was originally 2, and then it went to 3, and then it went to 4, or was 3.5. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, and then there's like a half here and a half here. So yeah, that's like I think that actually might be more than 4. It's like weird and misaligned. I don't know. But yeah, I think making them nice and spread out so you can like see and react to stuff is good. But here you can't really see and react anyway, and so the vertical, if anything, this should focus on the surprise of like I'm up here now, and I couldn't even see what was going on up here before. So there's like an enemy here. Like I gotta like duel a guy here.
You can always put something like slightly out of reach too, like towards the top.
Yeah, like I can see him a little bit. Go over here. Now it's like I'm fighting this guy on this bridge. Oh, look at this narrow passageway. I should say these guys currently do not behave well around pits, they just like walk right into them. So
Nice.
this should be fine though, for at least for what we're doing here. We just gotta fix that. These guys have like a bug on them just to make a second pass. I think these were like a very early enemy that we have not like used anywhere yet, and so we're like, now that we know more about like how combat works in the game, there's like a lot more rules about like, yeah, enemies shouldn't just walk into pits. I think like early on it was like, oh, they should walk into pits. Now it's like, you know, like a way that a player could like be rewarded. But now it's like, no, they'll just walk into like, it's annoying if you have a cool fun setup and then an enemy just randomly falls into a pit and dies. So yeah, I think we're gonna take another pass at this. But yeah, cool duel with a guy on like a narrow bridge like this. That's fun. Like a crossover. I do feel like this isn't enough of like a grind rail setup. This is like a setup where I'm using grind rails. This is a bridge. This could be like anything.
Red Yacht is suggesting you could put Dogapede on the tiny bridge, but maybe wait till I fix it. Don't do it now.
Oh no!
Don't do it.
No, my hand is slipping.
No, no. Oh,
Okay, let's see. Dogapede.
oh no.
I'm gonna make you.
It's just okay.
I'm gonna make you suffer to the max.
Yeah,
Full 10
yeah.
segments.
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay.
This is
Can we
gonna
get
be
a
chaos.
Dogapede in chat, please?
Oh no.
You know, like
Yeah.
when streamers do it.
No, yeah, this is like taking up the whole bridge.
That's not bad.
It's
That's
actually
not bad. Yeah, he's
working.
he's not panicking.
You know what? This is actually like a fun. Once Dogapede is like more worked in, this will actually be like a fun thing.
Yeah, it's gotta. That's what I'm doing today. Is like it's gotta sort itself out better so it doesn't get stuck.
Yeah. Okay, I like this like duel here. That's fun. It could also be a bad rat, but I'm trying to avoid bad rats. Like I feel like bad rat is like the bread and butter of this area. That's where I'm like, I need like an enemy here who's like kind of complex.
I think
but-
Bad Rat's also just the only one that's like ready to go too.
Yeah. Once we got like another guy, I'll have like, ooh, choices. I can do this or that. What can I do here? This can't just be like I get a chest. There should be like some nominal amount of gameplay.
Would ice blocks help?
Yeah, I can do
Like
like
you
an
gotta
ice
deal with
block.
something before you get the chest.
Yeah, I mean, even if it could just not be a chest, and this is a bone stone and an ice block, and I gotta like send this. And that creates that situation I didn't like though, where it's like I could miss it, and like I think my rule is gonna be, if it's a permanent thing like a bone stone, you should not be able to like screw yourself with the ice block, right?
Yeah, that sounds consistent with like how we've approached it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna like, 'cause my thought process originally is it could not be a bone stone, it could be like a regular bone, and then the idea was just a little bit of thinking. I mean, it's not that thinky. It's like I just gotta like push this one left. It's maybe too basic. What else can I do with it? If there's like something I have to push out of the way. Oh, you know what I can do with it? I know. Okay, this can be bone stone then, if I'm doing that. Okay. So get rid of this. Put an ice block here. And then this could be a rock. And so like I haven't done this one yet. I guess this is similar to like the secret dirt puzzle that we had earlier, but like yeah, just like a real basic like, oh, I gotta like move this, and then oh, that's right, rocks. I completely forgot that rocks just straight up break ice now. So maybe that works better if it's a secret dirt. I don't want to do the same exact secret dirt puzzle again. This should just be a bush then.
I wonder if you could have like a couple islands that you have to get to and kind of like navigate around on rails more.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. Um, like, so we've tried out this bridge setup, but it could be a thing where there's like an island and like I go back and forth between it.
Poor paladin.
Yeah.
Just
But yeah, so I can't go there, and it's like, oh, I gotta like go around. So like a little nominal thing, just to make you like, so I'm not just getting a chest for like doing the bare minimum. I mean, at the very least, it's out of sight here, so I have to remember it. Gotta use that brain. But yeah, this shouldn't be like the hardest puzzle in the world, but it should be like a pretty basic thing I can do. This doesn't even need a second ice block. This could just be this. And yeah, there's no way to like push this up, so there's no way to like miss this. So we're still good on that front, I think. Yeah, I do like the islands idea. We could always make this. I mean, I think the idea with this bridge is that the bridge was supposed to be very long, and so maybe that's what we do as an escalation. Let me like make this at least one more screen length tall.
whoa, big room.
Big, and then yeah, so like we start out with just the basic back and forth, and then and then we have like an island to get to, right? There's like, so now this is like an island, and we can like, this should probably just be pressed a little more against the wall. I need balance. I don't know how far pressed it should be. But like, yeah, and then this. So we have like an island. It would be cool if like these were. I gotta make them at least 3, so it's like the grind rails are there for a reason. If it's just 2, then it's like, well, you can just jump over that, or even on a grind rail.
Oh, true.
Yeah, let's just do, so 3 tile gaps here.
Although I think once you're on a grind rail, I think you can't jump that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if you're just on normal ground.
Yeah. So if these are going to be like grind rail islands, I want to keep these. So there's this island, and maybe there's. Tricky part is that now this island would have to be very small. And then like it should be like choices here, like a grid of that. Oh wait, well, I just realized I totally messed this up at the top. So we have like more room here. This could be a thing. And then maybe the one I'm trying to get to is that one on the far left. No. I gotta like make the player really use this island concept. Maybe it's too easy if the exit is in the middle. Maybe if the exit's over here. Now it's like, okay, there's like a grid of islands you can go to. And yeah, so you can navigate back and forth between these a bunch. Okay. So like if we center these, oh, so like now these all connect up, and like maybe. They shouldn't all be in the center though. I think also they're not centered. That forces me to like cross it up a little bit. Like, oh, now I gotta go here, or like here. Yeah, this one can maybe be. Yeah, I think the vertical ones are fine if they're centered, but the horizontal ones shouldn't be. don't have a lot of room to work with on these, so I can like, that one can be a little taller. This one could be wider, but have a obstacle that prevents you from going to the exit. So that way it's like, oh, that's where I need to go, but I gotta like think about it. I don't want you to just spider buddy around this one. Spider buddy's good, but it shouldn't be that good. And then we even like have thing here, so there's like if you go here first, then you should see something that draws your eye, and it's like, oh, I want to get that chest. I get that chest. I got like a little bit there. So how is this gonna look now? There. So we got like this cool thing. This seems like another opportunity for like, if this extended down a little bit, I could like see it from here. It's like, oh, I want to get that. That's a good opportunity. Like go up here. These are cool. Maybe it needs like something. Like if there's a bad rat on this platform, that might be like too much.
Oh, that could be cool. He's like throwing stuff at you. You got to look out for.
Yeah. I'm just thinking it's such a small space. How am I gonna get this to work? Also, I'm realizing it's 2:29 already. But let's like get at least some preliminary gameplay here, so it's not empty.
Rapid fire.
Yeah. What else? So we have all these elements. There can always just be like a gooper somewhere. I think, yeah, we could definitely have like
a bad rat could be cool, like maybe in a corner, so like you don't aggro him at first.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to use a bad rat, I would want it to aggro while you're here. I would probably need to do sort of what I'm doing here, where it's like there's 2 grind rails, and you can take either one. And so that way it's like I have choices, and that might actually, like right now, the grind rails aren't being used for like that much gameplay in these sections, right? Then I guess this one should be centered if we don't want them to be not aligned. The grind rails, these are just like taking me from island to island. So the more it's like, oh, I take this one or this one, and that choice matters, and that's good.
You could also use something like a bird that like floats between platforms if you want.
Yeah. This is good. It's like, it's very narrow, and so I would make this, I would probably just get rid of that and just make this a longer platform where I can fight this guy. And then I still have to do this stuff if I want to get this chest. This is good. Here. This guy gets aggroed, and then it's like far enough away that I like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think this is easier. If I'm like a speedrunner, I just like charge that. I should probably like do something. Like there's ice blocks are my like usual blocker for this area, so like just having some like basic ice block stuff here.
Red Yacht was suggesting maybe there could be a grind rail that cuts off early, so like you have to kind of jump to get to the next platform.
Oh yeah, I should mess around with that here too. That's a good point. Not for the vertical ones. I'll do that for the horizontal ones. Wait, like if there's like this, like have that one cut off a little early. This one. And then, oh, that way they're like asymmetrical, right? I don't want it to cut off early the horizontal ones, because like I was saying, you can't see the jump soon enough. And so, yeah, like this. So now it's like, that also makes it feel like more of a choice. Like, do I want to jump to get on or jump to get off? So now it's like, whoa. And then I get locked into a pit. Maybe that's like too much with the bad rat. I do like that though. Like it's cool up here as well. It's like, do I want to take that like risky way, or do I want to like go around to get this gooper? This gooper is kind of like guarding the edge though. Maybe the gooper should be like in like an ice block thing over here. Put like some. It shouldn't be a chest either. Chest is. Yeah. It could be one. And like there should be something on this island. It shouldn't just be the island oh nothing. Yeah, I guess as long as maybe I should go with more of these like too long setups. Oh wait, I put that in the content layer. Oops. If I do more of these too long setups, then I can have more of that. Like I can actually get onto this platform without the gooper screwing me up.
I feel like it would have been fun to have an enemy that like electrocutes the rails, so like you gotta jump for a second.
Yeah, I mean
that's pretty niche. Like that's pretty specific.
Yeah, I mean having more stuff that like can interact with rails, I think would be good. Right now, rails are like, you know, not a lot of things interact with it directly. That's why I was like messing around with these hazard blocks, because I'm like, they follow splines already, and so rails are basically just splines. So put these guys on one of these, bing bang bosh, it works. Yeah, something that would make it hazardous. One thing I was thinking was we got those arrow traps in Crypt. Those don't work with grind rail right now though, just because they just break on the collision. That could be a thing, although that's more of a Crypt object. But yeah, I'm gonna experiment around more with grind rail. And then like I'll just put some like goopers here for now. I don't know. This is like all temp.
We're hitting like 235.
Yeah. Okay, let's just do like one last run through of this room. This is like still not, I would not call this a complete setup, but this is, I said we were gonna do one room and we did like a 3 tall room, so this is more than we bargained for.
And this is cool too, because like this it's interesting that like if you really want something to be inaccessible only by grind rail, you do have to have it right now be kind of like 3 tiles, so it does stretch it.
Yeah. And this guy's doing his thing, and so it's like, do I want to go up there? Yeah, but go. The gooper is like too much. I'll have to figure something else out to do here. Yeah, that's like blocking you too badly. I do like this island idea. I think this is like a fun thing to mess around with. But yeah, that's like these guys they're blocking the exits. I think this isn't good. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep messing around with this setup off stream. But yeah, I think we've gone a little over. But yeah, this is sort of a taste of what it's like early on in the level design process, where we're just like figuring out what works, what do we want to do. Like, is this cool? Do we want to do something else? Or, you know, just throwing out ideas. And like, if we want like a new thing, you know, we gotta like write it up and like make changes. And so yeah, that guess that's that. Is there anything else you want to say before heading out?
Hey Celia, are you there?
I'm here. What's up?
Yo, I think we're gonna wrap stream. Anything that we want to plug?
Heck yeah. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. let's see here. If you're not following our social media pages, please do that. We just made a Threads because they're adding 1 billion platforms. We're at Yacht Club Games on there. If you don't follow us at our other social media platforms, we're at Yacht Club Games on literally everything. We made a TikTok. I'm making a bunch of TikToks today. Y'all should go check it out. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Anywhere you want to get your Yacht Club Games news. Okay, that's it. Go team.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Good stream.
thanks for showing up. See y'all at the next developer stream next